In the heart of West Africa, beyond the dust trails of Ouagadougou and the shimmering mirage of the Sahel, lies a different Africa, one rarely documented in glossy magazines or global billionaire lists. This is not the Africa of poverty narratives or safari stereotypes. This is the Africa of boardrooms veiled in tradition, dynasties carved from grit, and empires nurtured through decades of resilience, vision, and silent strategy. Burkina Faso, a landlocked nation often overshadowed in global economic dialogues, holds within its borders a vault of entrepreneurial greatness. While its politics may sway and its infrastructure still grows, behind the scenes are titans, families whose last names command silent reverence in banking, mining, telecommunications, cement, agriculture, and real estate. This is not just a ranking. It is a cinematic voyage through ambition, generational wealth, and economic conquest. From the hospitality magnates crafting luxury amid the Sahel to the telecom giants whose signals echo from Bobo Dioulasso to the borders of Benin, we reveal the 10 richest families in Burkina Faso, whose stories are the secret backbone of a rising economy. Before we continue, please support our work by liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more valuable insights. 10. Adama Kindo family. In a country where tourism is still finding its stride, Adama Kindo saw what others missed: potential in luxury, serenity in culture, and opportunity in untapped markets. From modest roots, Kindo built a towering reputation by redefining hospitality in Burkina Faso. His journey started with a single boutique hotel in Ouagadougou, a charming space woven with African art, traditional architecture, and world-class service. It was a gamble, a dream in a market unfamiliar with five-star expectations. But what began as a local gem expanded into a constellation of luxury resorts, lodges, and eco-retreats across the country. Kindo's establishments attracted diplomats, business travelers, and increasingly, international tourists, enchanted by the authentic, elegant experience his hotels offered. His company didn't just sell rooms, it sold immersion, curated culture, and indigenous sophistication. As the government leaned into tourism as a development lever, Kindo positioned himself as the cornerstone of that vision. He invested in training schools for hospitality, sustainable tourism projects, and even collaborated with local artists and craftsmen to furnish his properties, blending profit with purpose. Today, his estimated net worth of $180 million is more than a financial marker. It's a reflection of insight, risk, and refinement. Kindo may not flaunt jets or mega yachts, but his influence ripples through every upscale suite and boardroom negotiation tied to Burkina Faso's tourism sector. He is proof that in the desert heat, a visionary can build an oasis. 9. Lassine Diawara family. Every empire needs arteries, roads that pulse with commerce, trucks that ferry dreams, logistics that stitch a nation's economy together. In Burkina Faso, the man who built those arteries is Lassine Diawara. With a foundation in freight and cargo, Diawara launched his transportation enterprise decades ago with a single second-hand truck. That vehicle became the seed of a fleet that now moves across West Africa, hauling goods, delivering raw materials, and connecting landlocked Burkina Faso to the ports of Togo, Ghana, and Ivory Coast. What sets Diawara apart is not just his expansion but his foresight. While others focused on short-haul gains, he invested in logistics infrastructure, warehouses, maintenance hubs, fuel stations, and digital tracking systems. His operations became not just efficient but indispensable. With each government contract, be it for humanitarian aid, road construction material, or food supply, his net worth surged. Strategic partnerships with international logistics giants brought technology and capital. Today, his empire services both the public and private sectors, including multinationals needing reliable West African transport. At an estimated $200 million, Diawara's fortune is heavy with steel and diesel, but also strategy and unrelenting drive. His trucks are the silent workhorses of an evolving nation, and like the cargo they carry, his influence is massive, though it often rides under the radar. 8. Pascal Sawogo family. In the land of Faso Danfani and Faso rice, one man, Pascal Sawogo, cultivated not just crops but a kingdom. The son of a village farmer, Sawogo inherited more than land. He inherited the wisdom of generations who lived by the soil. But where his ancestors planted by moonlight, Pascal planted with satellites and science. His rise began with the acquisition of underutilized farmland. Through mechanization, modern irrigation and agrotech partnerships, he turned these dusty plots into fertile engines of economic power. His agribusiness expanded from grains and vegetables to large-scale animal husbandry, food processing plants and export networks. In a country where agriculture employs over 80% of the population, Sawogo stands at the apex of the value chain. His factories produce packaged goods for domestic consumption and international markets. He is a pioneer in agro-financing, offering microloans to smallholder farmers and buying back harvests at fair market prices. Through strategic vertical integration, from field to factory to fork, he commands an empire worth $250 million. Yet, what makes Pascal Sawogo unique is his blend of innovation and inclusion. His model doesn't just enrich him, it elevates thousands. In a global food crisis, he's a local solution. In the silent rhythms of Burkina's farmlands, he is the maestro, conducting prosperity with every season.
7. Salif Kabor family. In the sun-scorched lands of Burkina Faso, where the horizon shimmers like polished bronze and the ground trembles with untapped wealth, one man learned how to turn dust into fortune. His name? Salif Kabor. Known in hushed tones among West African financiers as the Gold General, Kabor's empire was not built on inheritance or foreign deals. It was forged in the earth, beneath rock and gravel, beneath danger and darkness. Salif Kabor came from modest beginnings, born in a village not far from Kaya where artisanal gold mining has long been a way of life. But Kabor had a different vision. Where others saw sand and stone, he saw currency. Where others wielded pickaxes, he wielded contracts, strategy, and geopolitical savvy. His mining company quickly grew from a modest excavation outfit into one of the largest privately held mineral enterprises in the Sahel. Specializing in gold, zinc, and manganese, Kabor's firms developed a reputation for navigating both the treacherous terrain of geology and the intricate world of mining permits, export licenses, and government partnerships. Mining in Burkina Faso has always been a high-risk venture, fraught with political complexities, safety concerns, and fierce international competition. But Salif embraced the chaos. He invested in safety protocols that gained international approval, partnered with global firms from Canada to South Africa, and reinvested heavily into the local communities surrounding his mines. Schools, clinics, water systems. His empire was not just excavating gold, it was building trust. Today, Salif Kabor commands a mining operation that exports hundreds of millions of dollars worth of minerals annually. His facilities stretch from the Tapako mine to the Bissa-Zancom corridor, and his influence runs deep within Burkina Faso's energy grid, where his secondary companies now contribute to powering regional operations. Yet, despite his monumental success, Kabor remains elusive, rarely photographed, and almost never interviewed, but his wealth, estimated at $300 million, is undeniable, and his legacy is one of grit, geological genius, and a relentless pursuit of economic sovereignty.
6. Idrissa Nassa family. If there's one name that ripples through the corridors of every major boardroom in Burkina Faso and beyond, it is Idrissa Nassa. The founder, chairman, and CEO of Coris Bank International, Nassa is not merely a financier, he is a regional architect of capital, a man who transformed the idea of banking in West Africa into something bold, independent, and fiercely Burkinabe. Born in Bobo-Dioulasso and educated across France and Côte d'Ivoire, Nassa returned home with a simple belief. Burkina Faso did not need to rely on foreign banks to fund its dreams. In 2008, he launched Coris Bank, a vision that would soon become an empire. His timing was prescient. The need for local financial institutions had never been more urgent. Within a decade, Coris Bank grew from a local entity into a regional force, with branches in Mali, Togo, Côte d'Ivoire, Senegal, and Benin. But Nassa's brilliance wasn't just in expanding branches. It was in understanding that banking in this part of the world must serve more than profit. His institution lent generously to small businesses, agricultural projects, and infrastructure developments. He built financial bridges for Burkinabe youth and women entrepreneurs. And, as the tech wave reached West Africa, Coris was one of the first regional banks to launch digital banking platforms and mobile-based financial services.
Nassa's empire is sleek, modern, and uncompromising. His board meetings resemble those of a Silicon Valley giant more than a traditional African bank, and his executives are data-driven, globally trained, and radically transparent. At $350 million, his net worth reflects more than balance sheets. It reflects a reimagining of West African financial autonomy. But Idrissa Nassa is still climbing. He speaks little, moves quickly, and thinks globally. And in his vaults, he doesn't just keep cash, he stores the ambitions of an entire region. 5. Alisa Wedro family. In the male-dominated annals of West African entrepreneurship, one name reigns with unyielding grace and unmistakable power: Alisa Wedro. Nicknamed the Iron Lady of Burkina Faso, she has built a legacy that transcends gender, geography, and generation. From retail markets to textile factories, from warehouse complexes to manufacturing hubs, Wedro has cultivated a financial empire that now spans multiple countries and continents. Alisa's journey began in the bustling markets of Ouagadougou, where she transformed a single-family business into a transcontinental trading powerhouse. Her vision? To create a commercial network that could rival those of France or Morocco, one rooted in local knowledge but executed with international precision. She invested in everything from wholesale distribution to consumer goods manufacturing, ensuring that the products Burkinabe families relied on were sourced from their own soil. As a woman in the upper echelons of business, Alisa faced resistance. But instead of faltering, she fought harder. She built alliances with Chinese textile giants, brokered export deals with EU nations, and invested in logistics infrastructure that allowed her supply chains to run like clockwork. Her influence is not just economic, it's social. She employs thousands, empowers hundreds of women through business incubators, and champions educational programs for girls across Burkina Faso. With a net worth of $400 million, Alisa Wedro is more than a tycoon. She's a symbol of what can happen when tradition meets tenacity and when vision is matched by relentless execution. Her retail empire supplies not just goods, but dignity, and in the stories told across market stalls and boardrooms alike, her legend only grows. 4. Inusa Canazoi family. Where others saw dust and heat, Inusa Canazoi saw foundation. Where others mourned a lack of infrastructure, he built pillars, literally. Known across West Africa as the Cement King, Canazoi is the founder and patriarch of Simfaso, Burkina Faso's largest cement production company. And with it, he didn't just build buildings, he built a dynasty. Born into modest means in Bobo Dioulasso, Inusa started trading building materials in open-air markets. It was the 1980s. Burkina Faso was urbanizing slowly, and quality cement was scarce. That scarcity became his opportunity. He launched Simfaso, Cimenterie de Faso, in the early 2000s, a move that would change the construction industry forever. Using cutting-edge German manufacturing technology and securing bulk transportation deals with governments, Canazoi positioned Simfaso as the go-to supplier for every major project in Burkina Faso, from housing developments to highway systems. But his genius didn't stop at cement. He understood the psychology of infrastructure, what it meant for people to see buildings rise, roads extend, cities glow with new possibilities. Canazoe's factories now hum day and night. His fleets move with military precision, and his engineers operate on blueprints that stretch across borders into Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, and Ghana. With an estimated net worth of $500 million, Inusa Canazoi isn't just rich, he's revered. Not just because he controls one of West Africa's most vital commodities, but because he proved that even in the world's most landlocked nations, industry can flourish and nations can be built one block at a time. 3. Muhammadu Bonkungo family. In the high-octane world of African infrastructure, Muhammadu Bonkungo reigns like a general of asphalt and steel. At the helm of Ibomaf, short for Enterprise Bonkungo Muhammadu et Fils, he transformed a modest engineering firm into a continental powerhouse. His journey began not with inherited fortune, but with sheer audacity. As Burkina Faso's cities and transport systems demanded modernization, Bonkungo saw opportunity in every cracked road and unbuilt bridge. Armed with vision and guided by ruthless attention to quality and deadlines, he seized government contracts with unmatched precision. From highways that stitch nations together to airports connecting capitals to the world, Bonkungo's fingerprints are on some of the most strategic developments in West Africa. But Ibo MAF is no longer just a national giant. It has projects in Togo, Benin, Côte d'Ivoire, and beyond. Bonkungo built an empire brick by brick, often outpacing global competitors. His firm's dominance stems from its integration of supply chains, engineering precision, and high-level political diplomacy. Despite his reserved public demeanor, Bonkungo lives like a statesman. He owns sprawling estates, travels by private jet, and surrounds himself with a loyal executive team trained to think big and act fast. His compound in Ouagadougou is rumored to be a palace of both elegance and security. Yet, beneath the opulence lies the same relentless entrepreneur who once surveyed construction sites in person. His fortune, estimated at $550 million, is not just measured in dollars, it's measured in mega-projects that will last generations. Muhammadu Bonkungo is more than a businessman, he is a builder of nations. 2. Umaru Canazoe family. If infrastructure is the skeleton of a nation, then Umaru Canazoe is one of Burkina Faso's chief architects. A titan of concrete, ambition, and legacy, Canazoe leads the Canazoe Group, a dynasty responsible for transforming vast swaths of land into cities, roads, and monuments. His story is one of succession and reinvention, taking a family business and turning it into an industrial juggernaut that reverberates across borders. Canazoe's empire began humbly in the post-colonial years, when his family ventured into basic construction, but it was Umaru who escalated the enterprise into an empire, embracing mechanization, innovation, and regional expansion. His company undertook national development projects of strategic importance: transnational highways, modern stadiums, government ministries, and commercial centers. Each structure bore his family's vision of excellence. Canazoe Group didn't just build infrastructure, it built identity. But construction is only part of his dominion. Canazoe also mastered the game of real estate, amassing properties in prime locations across Ouagadougou and the Sahel. His developments aren't just buildings, they are gated communities, corporate hubs, and luxurious towers that redefine skylines. His name became synonymous with durability and grandeur. With a net worth of $600 million, Canazoe is not merely counted among Burkina Faso's elite, he helped define what it means to be elite in the country. 1. Apollinaire Compaore family. Sitting atop the financial throne of Burkina Faso is Apollinaire Compaore, the enigmatic titan who quietly assembled an empire that spans borders, industries, and generations. His name may not light up social media feeds or tabloid headlines, but in the circles of African power, he is a man of mythic proportions. Through Planor Afrique, Compaore has engineered one of the most diversified and resilient conglomerates in West Africa, with stakes in telecommunications, insurance, finance, and logistics. His crown jewel is Telecel Faso, a telecommunications giant that revolutionized mobile access across Burkina Faso. But Compaore didn't stop at airtime and signal towers. He expanded into banking, insurance, media, and even transportation. His model was simple: control infrastructure, then connect the dots of daily life: phones, money, movement, and news. His wealth, estimated at $800 million, flows through a complex web of companies, many of them private, agile, and nearly invisible to public scrutiny. Born into modest circumstances, Compaore climbed the ladder with unmatched savvy. He read markets like maps, moved faster than regulators, and adapted quicker than competitors. He understood that in post-colonial Africa, wealth wasn't just about owning resources, it was about building systems and platforms. And so he built. Today, Apollinaire Compaore lives like the king of a silent kingdom. He splits his time between palatial residences in Ouagadougou and major capitals like Abidjan and Paris. He travels discreetly, often surrounded by elite advisors. His boardrooms are power theaters where billions are decided, and yet he avoids the spotlight. That discretion is by design. For Compaore, real power is quiet, enduring, and networked. Like fiber optics underground, his influence pulses through the very veins of modern Burkina Faso. He is not just the richest man in the country, he is the one who redefined what is possible. Burkina Faso's richest aren't just wealthy, they're woven into the nation's foundation. Builders, bankers, tycoons, visionaries, their names may not echo globally, but their power shapes skylines, industries and futures, quietly, strategically, unshakably. In a world obsessed with noise, these are the kings of quiet empires. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like the video, share and subscribe to the channel for more valuable insights.